I've been making and selling cacao for 20 years. I'm Keith of Keith's Cacao, and for almost that long, I've been hearing stories from people with various kinds of autoimmune diseases. Cacao changes your chemistry, helps a lot of people to rebalance. Cacao that's very low in caffeine and has a lot more of the active ingredients that affect your health, your consciousness, and all of that. My suggestion in autoimmune treatment is to have some twice a day, 20 grams, possibly 30 grams, for about a month. See what happens. We can't make promises. There has been no research. No one's interested in researching it because there's no money in it. I've seen full healings from major kinds of things to the minor things, bruising, digestive craziness. We sell it in blocks. Chop those up, lay them out, add hot water, whisk, break up the softened pieces. Water does not have to be anywhere near boiling. Maybe hotter than you'd want to drink it. Add your favorite flavorings, spices, nut milks, and find out what the difference is. The difference between your morning coffee. You get a lot of messages about cacao as a replacement for afternoon Adderall. Works better. Major spiritual benefits. Helps open your heart. Helps for all kinds of health things. People that drink cacao regularly have 8% of the cancer rate of the people who don't. We have a lot of people that use it in the gym. Motivation, energy. You get these massive hulking body workers write us and say, your cacao has replaced every single supplement I took. For both energy and motivation, I am saving a ton of money. Same thing from the nootropic people, taking chemicals to alter their brain. Cacao works better. Are giving it to a number of professional level athletes. They love it. And we are finding that it is moving into the business world as a productivity and decision-making enhancement. If you take it in the morning, it helps you prioritize your entire day. People tell us they serve cacao at a business meeting. We're selling hundreds of pounds into the business world now. Motivation, productivity, innovation. One of the first experiences I ever had was a guy that came in the door to buy another block. And he said, well, I'm a writer, and what I like to do is hold 3 storylines simultaneously in my brain. Write a story that weaves those 3 storylines together. When I have a cup of your cacao, he can hold 9 storylines. Now that's a 3 times brain expansion. What he writes out of it, he says, people like it, it makes sense, they can understand it, and they enjoy reading my story. We've given it to musicians going into the studio, and we hear back later, the recording went down, fewer tracks, more magic. It was a whole lot easier to mix because everybody was, right on time. Got out of the studio faster, and the money they saved more than paid for the cacao. So we're having fun with magical, brain-affecting consciousness. Most cacao from Central and South America. It comes from volcanic soils. We don't use the big hybrid beans. We carefully select beans. We've taken our cacao and all kinds of other people's cacao to the lab, gotten, $20,000 worth of lab tests so we can really see the difference in what's out there. And the results were totally obvious. We got the good stuff. I've been working with this cacao for 20 years, and I get to play every day with one of the most magical substances on the planet. It affects your heart, your brain, your ability to connect with other people, your ability to do art, play music, your intuitive focus, productive focus in the workplace. When you got a deadline in front of you, there is nothing better than cacao, because it'll focus you, prioritize it in your mind, so that you can then do what you need to do in the most efficient way possible. The cadmium in cacao myth. The media has whipped everyone into a frenzy. There's a huge difference between industrial cadmium and cadmium that comes naturally through cadmium-rich soils, which are especially common in Peru and Ecuador. People who have been living indigenously on cadmium-rich soils for generations don't have any problems. They don't have problems that have showed up after a dozen generations. However, one of our friendly chocolate major manufacturers got concerned about the number of bean-to-bar people who were eroding into their chocolate business. And they found that they could analyze for cadmium, because the tests don't tell the difference between industrial and natural cadmium. And they could analyze for it, and then they could lobby the EU and California and places like that. And then they have hyped it to oblivion. The world is full of uncritical people who just bought it, hook, line, and sinker.